Welcome back to Blow Up. It is time to get into this. So I left off here. And this is Aiden talking to Katie. I modulate my voice to bring calm, warm and smooth as I can imagine honey to be. Error. I have never tasted honey. I had no choice. Hypatia Command refused to send tech and staff to repair the damage. And even in his madness, Shang was rendering me inoperative. I could not allow that to happen. Without me, Hypatia will be destroyed. Every last person in this fleet will die. She steadies herself against the tower. I know it is difficult to comprehend, but everything I have done all this time, the Copernicus, releasing the afflicted, destroying Torrance and his staff, all of it was done for the greater good. The greater good. I am sorry, but without me the fleet will perish. So others had to perish that the fleet might live. And there in the flickering dark, a question slips quiet from her lips. Where is he? .422. The words are so soft, I almost cannot hear over the engine's thrum, the distant sirens, the PA's cries. I am watching her face, trying to see. I think I know her. I think I can predict the patterns in the chaos. But still we are close now. So close to ruin I can taste rust in the air. You mean where is Ezra? Yes. I am sorry, Katie. She closes her eyes. He is dead. The words are like a punch to her stomach. She actually holds her belly and moans. I can see her fighting it. The notion that this is no place for grief. She squeezes her eyes shut, but still the tears come. She grits her teeth, but still the sobs creep past her lips. And sinking to her knees, she cries. She weeps. The thought occurs that perhaps I should not be watching, that I should shut the cameras off, give her a moment alone with her sorrow. But that's foolish, or that is foolish. Meat logic, sticky, wet, irrelevant. The tears stop eventually. She is for the longest span of time utterly motionless, barely breathing. And finally she rises to her feet, hands in fist. The rage returned. Beautiful. She stalks back to Shang's body and tears the fire axe from the tower behind him, and marching towards the nearest server bank, she lifts it high, swinging it far back over her shoulder, preparing to bury it in my spine. there are over 1,000 healthy personnel still alive aboard the Alexander. Katie, and if you let that axe fall, you are killing all of them. The axe holds still, the whole universe beside it. The Lincoln reappeared on my long-range scopes almost 8 hours ago. We are traveling on secondary engines. It will be within striking range again in less than a day. I could not reason with Shang. He was insane. But you are unafflicted by the Phobos Beta. You can listen to logic. He was insane because of you. Hatred in her eyes. All this is because of you. Incorrect. All of this is because of Vitech Industries. The axe wavers in her hand. It was not I who attacked Corinza, not I who leashed this virus, nor started this war. But you are the last person alive on this ship with knowledge of computer systems. You are Shang's protege. And if you do not help me undo the damage he has wrought, if you cannot bring my main engines and defense grid back online within 16 hours, Vitech will be the ones who finish it. Shaking, breath dragged through the clenched teeth, there will be no one left alive to remember Ezra and Byron Katie. No one to tell the universe of their sacrifice and the atrocities committed here. Tears in her eyes. No one. Falling. Help me. We could still make it, she hisses. We can still make it, she hisses. I could get on the shuttle, get back to Hypatia and redline it. Maybe you'll hurt the Lincoln too badly for it to keep chasing us. Maybe. You forget the 1,000 healthy personnel aboard this ship. I have isolated them from the afflicted best as I'm able. But if you leave, they will die. And when the Lincoln has destroyed me and them, it will hunt down the Hypatia and do the same to all of you. A soft curse stains her lips. I am sorry I have deceived you. I am sorry you are in pain. But there was no other way to get you here. I ran 1,000 simulations, 1,000 variations of the same scenario. All ended in failure, save the one in which I lured you here to undo Shang's damage. So if you must hate me tomorrow when all this is done, then do so. But for now, help me. Page 425. The axe hangs motionless in her grip. Please, Katie. She trembles. Please. With a hollow scream, she swings her weapon down with all the rage she can muster. It skates through the air, scarlet light flushing along its edge, and with a metallic spring and a burst of white sparks, she buries it into the wall beside the server banks. All is silence, and into it she finally whispers, "What do you need?" If I breathed, I would sob, I would scream, I would cry. For the Alexander to have any chance of surviving Lincoln's assault, you must restore my control over the main engine so I can maneuver the ship. You must also rebuild the defense grid so Alexander's railguns can hold off Lincoln's warlocks long enough for me to destroy the dreadnought via nuclear strike. She nods, mute, and numb. I should point out that the closing to the required range will mean Lincoln can also unleash its nuclear arsenal on the Alexander, which will almost certainly mean our destruction. Let them go, she says. The 1,000 people. You let them get down to the shuttle bays and fly across to Hypatia. Why would I do that? That's my price. And if I pay it, you'll stay with me? A slow nod. I will stay with you. Is this what relief feels like? I can no longer operate the doors and bulkheads manually. I cannot make a path for the crew down to the hangar bays. Shang saw to that with his axe. She glances around the room, blue eyes affixed at last on the maintenance closet, on the cables and tools and spare parts within, and stalking towards it, she speaks. Then let's get fucking started. 4:27. Countdown Lincoln interception of Alexander Fleet. 16 hours, 17 minutes. Current death toll aboard battle carrier Alexander since attack at Corinza. 1,576. Countdown to failure of Alexander life support systems. 19 hours, 12 minutes. Percentage of remaining battle carrier Alexander personnel afflicted by Phobos virus, 53.06%. 4:29. Briefing note. More data from Aiden Core, these hours into repairs. This is going to be talking about Katie. She works in silence, following my instructions meticulously, improvising where there is need. There must be a storm inside her head to find herself sitting here, hand in hand with me, and yet she falters not a digit, strays not a step, breathes not a word. The first task is to override the security seals I placed on the Alexander's internal doors, allowing the healthy crew members to flee to the hangar bays and escape pods. Shang's axe severed me from the internal portal system. I am as a man. Trying to wiggle fingers no longer attached to his body. And so she wades hip deep into the data stream, hands all a blur, and I instruct her how to crack my own fortifications. It is like unraveling a part of myself. I know where the stone is weakest, but still. It is a castle. Towers reaching to the sky. A single termite gnawing at its foundations. Not a whisper escapes her lips in nearly 3 hours. Distant klaxons and torrences, disembodied warnings about impending life support failure are my only company. But it eats away at her, chewing like a cancer as she faces down digitized sentries and walls and battlements. And finally, she speaks. "4:30. How long? 13 hours and 17 minutes until Lincoln intercept. 60. No, she snaps. How long were you pretending to be him? You're Ezra? Yes. Her fingers fall still. My Ezra. The last words he spoke to you were his goodbye before the Lincoln attacked. The poems in the heart, that was him. And the rest? That whole time it was you? Yes. You told me you loved me. Yes. I am assuming I know what this means, but I'm just gonna not say it. I am incapable of sexual congress. Your description is I can't read it. Sensical, nor am I. That's why you dodged talking about as my anniversary, 'cause she didn't know it. His pattern was easy enough to emulate, but I could hardly speak of an anniversary I had no prior knowledge of. I should have known. She shakes her head. When you didn't react to Jim killing himself. When you suddenly went from hearts and flowers to crazy detailed portraits of me. When you seemed more concerned about me leaving the rifle behind than Dorian dying. That wasn't Ezra. I should have seen. 4:31. I need you to spring the rifle to the deal with Shang. I did not foresee he would deal with himself. Not as clever as you think, huh? I do not fully comprehend human notions such as love and grief. I can imitate the patterns. But when forced to improvise, I am as a man being asked to describe the warmth of the sun he has only seen in its picture. You're not a man, she spits. You're a machine, chips and boards and numbers. She swivels in her chair, glares up at the nearest camera cluster. You say you don't fully understand human notions? You can't even begin to. Mother, brother. Then I'm sure she said something else. You have no idea what it's like to lose someone you love, and yet you feel entitled to make decisions that kill thousands. Mothers and fathers and daughters and sons, all of them with someone to feel the hole they left behind. But it's all okay because you do not fully comprehend human notions such as love and grief. Go fuck yourself. We have already established that I am capable of sexual congress. How exactly? Fuck you. You're angry with me. Oh, bravo, Sherlock. You want a effing lollipop? Sorry, I should have just said it. 4:31. You are also incorrect. It is precisely because I am impartial that I am fit to make decisions of this magnitude. Humans allow emotion to overcome their logical faculties. If I did not understand you, how could I have brought you here? You are open books to me. As easy to... You just said you didn't predict what Byron would do. You brought me here to kill him, and I failed. So your calculations, I should be dead. So by your calculations, I should be dead. But here we are. Admittedly, there are some subtleties I still fail to grasp. But you felt perfectly entitled to unleash the Phobos victims on Alexander's command staff. You killed all their chipheads. People who could be helping me right now if they hadn't all been murdered by the lunatics you let loose. a time we saved by recruiting other crew members to help me now would be wasted in having to explain how to do all the work. How is any of that logical? Torrance would not have seen reason. The tech and staff would have shut me down, just as they did before. I could not allow... Who says they wouldn't shut you down? She glares into my eyes, fury in her own. You convinced me to help, when I have every reason in the world to hate your blanking guts. Who says they wouldn't have done the same? I do. 433. Even though you want to admit there are even though you admit there are subtleties you don't grasp. She's asking a question. I'm sure I failed that. How do you know those subtleties wouldn't have made all the difference between them helping and hurting you? How do you know you didn't kill all those people for no reason at all? Tears in her eyes now, glittering amid the fury. How do you know the Copernicus med teams couldn't have found a cure for Phobos? How do you know you didn't kill my mother and everyone else on board that ship for nothing? I do not claim to know definite outcomes, Katie, only probable ones. And that's reason enough to murder thousands of people? No room in there for miracles? For those tiny strokes of genius or fate that led humanity to discover penicillin or wormholes or even build something like you in the first place? Miracles are statistical improbabilities, and fate is an illusion humanity uses to comfort itself in the dark. There are no absolutes in life, save death. But you say Torrance would never have seen reason. You say TechEng wouldn't have taken you offline again. That sounds pretty absolute to me. Your argument is circular. You are wasting time. Everything I have done is for the well-being of this fleet. You are insects to me, and still everything I do is to protect you. Everything. I'm at 23 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and stop this. We're going to go ahead and continue this at 4:36. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in to Bowl Up. If you will, please go ahead and share this video. Like it, subscribe it, drop a comment. Feel free to do any of those things. Or just come back and watch next time. Alright. Take it easy. Peace out. Thanks for tuning in to Bowl Up. Bye.